For a whole lot of people around the Philadelphia area, summer doesn't really kick off until they hear three specific words: down the shore. It's a phrase that just screams sun, sand, and boardwalks. But if you're not from that neck of the woods, it can sound, well, a little confusing. So let's dive into this super unique piece of American slang.
I mean, that's the big question, right? Why the specific phrasing? Why not just, I'm going to the beach or the coast? It seems so simple. But this question actually gets to the heart of this deep seated regional identity that's been confusing outsiders for like ever.
And hey, this isn't some new thing. Just look at this quote from all the way back in 1979. The phrase has been this clear line in the sand, separating the locals from everybody else for decades. It's a true Philadelphianism. And to really get it, we've got to start by figuring out what the shore actually is.
Okay, so first up, what's the difference? Well, turns out the shore is a way bigger concept than you might think. It's not just about the sand and the water, it's about the whole experience, the whole destination. What's so interesting here is the sheer scope of it. The shore means the entire coastal ecosystem of New Jersey. We're talking about all of it: the barrier islands, the towns, the boardwalks, all the little communities. The actual sand is just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Going down the shore is the journey. It's the whole shebang: the trip to the coastal region, the boardwalks, the food, everything. But going to the beach, that's just something you do once you're already there. You grab your chair and your towel and you go sit by the ocean for a bit. So yeah, one's the destination, the other's the activity. Okay, so we've got the shore figured out, but now we get to the most mysterious part of all, that little word, down. What does it actually mean? This is where the real debate begins. This journalist, Edgar Williams, put it perfectly back in 1999. It's a puzzlement. Why do people always go down the shore? Why not up the shore or over to the shore? Well, there are two main theories fighting it out. All right, so theory number one is the most straightforward of the two. The idea is that down is simply talking about a direction on the compass. As author R.C. Staub points out, we use phrases like down south and up north all the time. And for almost everyone in the Philly area, the drive to the popular Jersey Shore towns is, geographically a trip south. Simple. Logical? Case closed? Not so fast. Because theory number two has absolutely nothing to do with a compass. This one is all about elevation. And this is a fascinating idea, right? In some East Coast dialects, you use down to talk about moving from inland toward the coast, which is, at sea level. So just like you go up into the mountains, you go down to the shore. It's about altitude, not latitude. So no matter where it came from, the phrase became a huge part of our culture. It first popped up in newspaper ads way back in the 50s. Then Tom Waits made it famous in Jersey Girl, the song Bruce Springsteen covered. By the 90s, it was the title of a sitcom, and it's even been the name of an indie film. This is clearly way more than just a saying. Okay, so seeing how it's kind of blown up in pop culture raises a really important question. Who actually says it? Is this something the locals say, or is it strictly a term for vacationers? And here's the real key. If you actually live in one of New Jersey's coastal counties, you don't really say you're going down the shore. I mean, why would you? You're already there. For people who live there, it's way more common to just say they're going to the beach. This comment absolutely nails it. Down the shore is for travelers, for people making a real trip out of it. It's a clear signal that you're coming from inland, from Philly or the suburbs, to hang out in the coastal region for a while. Oh, and down the shore is just the beginning. The region has a whole rich slang to tell the insiders from the outsiders. You've got your bennies. Those are tourists from North Jersey or New York City, supposedly named for the train stops. And then you have the shoobies. Those are the day trippers from Philly who, as the legend goes, used to pack their lunches in old shoeboxes. So after all this, what's the final verdict? What does down the shore really, truly mean? Well, it turns out the real meaning isn't about geography or language at all. It's about identity. First, we just have to admit it. Despite those awesome theories about direction and elevation, nobody knows for sure where the phrase came from. The history is just a little bit murky. But what's become crystal clear is that the literal meaning isn't the most important thing anymore. It has evolved way beyond just being a set of directions. At this point, the phrase is basically a code word. It stands for a whole summer ritual for an entire region. The car ride, the traffic, the boardwalk fries, that feeling of escape. It's shorthand for a huge, shared cultural experience. And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway. Saying you're going down the shore is a declaration. It's a badge of honor. It signals that you're part of this specific regional culture. You get it. You're an insider. And I think this Urban Dictionary entry from Jersey Kid just sums it all up with the perfect amount of passion. It doesn't matter what you call it or where the phrase came from. What matters is that shared love for the place itself. It's this awesome, unifying idea.
So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Every region has its own down the shore, a phrase that might not make any sense to outsiders, but is a powerful symbol for everybody in the know. So what's the phrase that serves as a badge of honor where you're from?